guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm showing you uh, a diagram of the token-based authentication. And then later on, I will demonstrate how we are going to use the ESP.NET Core Web API token JWT authentication that we created in the last video. So if you have not watched the last video, I think you need to watch this one. This is what I'm talking about. This one. So we have this video. This right? So ASP.NET Core. Now our token string is new security token handler requested. So we have created this in the last episode. Right token, you can get it in the last video. Okay, so now I'm you have now the token. This is now your token. Actually, this token is straightforward. Right. One is the user ID. Okay, so I have created this diagram because I will be sending this to my boss that is for his approval that we can use this in any client plugin. So basically, you're the client. For example, you have ASP.NET MVC client, and then or even a console application or a Angular application or a mobile app application, and then you are going to protect you have some functionality inside that you want to protect, that if a valid token is there, then that's the time that you can access for some protected areas. So that is why first thing that we have to do is we are going to initiate a request to the server where your web API is, where your ESP.NET Core API is configured, or you have the endpoint. Yeah? For example, localhost blang 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 like that. So this is the login. You will provide the username and the password as the request, and then of course it will check in the database where the server for the valid username and password. And part of it is also the claims. You can include the claims. Claims is also like roles. For example, it's a normal user and you can access this web page. If it's an admin, then you can access this administration page like that. And it will be part of the encryption algorithm. So aside from that, you can have your secret key. So this is the very most secured or important one, because that secret key is you alone or the administrator of the server know it. So even if other can know how to decode the algorithm, if they know the user and password, but they don't know the secret key, then they cannot log into your protected area, because you can only log in if you have a valid token, and that token have a valid user ID, password, a claims, and a secret key, and part and the encryption algorithm. So that is why, as you can see here, user login, there's a claim, there's a secret key before you can have the algorithm in your that's encoding the encryption key. So after that, you can generate the generated token, this one. So that's the valid token now. It will send back to the client who requesting it. So now the client has a valid token. So if the client would like to request or to get into the protected endpoint, for example, or this protected area on your website, so you have to send requests, but you are not going to send or input the username password again. You are just going to send the valid GW token that you got. So it will be injected in the header request. So once you get the valid token, it will be validated in the server, and it's correct and not expired yet. So because in this part there is also an expiry date, I have not included it, but as part of the encryption algorithm, we can set the expiry date. For example, that token will be valid just an hour or a minute like that. It's already expired, then you cannot use it, right? So if the valid token is there, injected in the header request, then that client can now access in your protected area of the site. So that's basically the cycle of GW token. So as again, I will say that you only enter your username, password in the login part, and once you're able to log in with a claim, secret key, and the encryption algorithm, it will generate you a valid token, and that valid token will be used to get you in the other application protected area. Yeah, so that's what we are talking about. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the how we are how we do it in the client side. So previously I already have this. So as you can see here, this is the previous video. If you did not watch my previous video, kindly watch it. So how we are able to, this is part of the claims, the valid issuer, audience, the valid expiry data, we set it to true, and our symmetric key encryption here with the valid key. This one is we just put it in our app setting, but you can put it, you can get it where you want to store. That's very secure. All right, if we run this API, just set it to okay. So I will set. I have created a client is with .NET MVC that will going to consume our login API. Right. So we'll set it first. Yes, you can see we have weather forecast with API here, and it's not working. It's HTTP error 401. So that's basically unauthorized 401. So meaning to say we are not able to send as a header request the token. So that is why it's returning an unauthorized request. So I will show you. First we are going to uh, use the Postman. Okay. So basically this Postman request, oh, it's already valid. It's valid. Okay. We already set the encryption. The bearer token here. So if we have no bearer token here, we will set no authentication, and we will send it. So it unauthorized. Okay. So where do we get the token? Why is not expiring? Because I set it to 1 month. So where is the token? We need to log in first. Okay. So on our body, okay. So this is the email, the password that's stored in our database. So when we send it, not allowed. Authentication, login. Oh, I mean, this is not a GET request. It is a POST request. Okay, you can see that. The message, this is the token that then generated. Okay, we copy it. So expiry date is till August, and its success is true. Now, if we are going to get the weather forecast, this weather forecast is already protected. Okay, so we are going to pass the authorization. This is bearer token. This is the JW token authentication. We pass here the token. So once you log in, you have the token, and as long as it's not expired yet, you can use it in the header, inject in the header to request for a protected endpoint, just like that. Okay, so this will go to the weather forecast endpoint. Hmm. Weather token method not found. Now again, this is a get request, so not a post request. So as you can see, it's getting to the protected area. So this weather forecast endpoint, as you can see here, I have an attribute of authorized. So if I remove this authorized attribute, then it will be accessed whether there's a valid token or not. So this authorized attribute is coming from by default in the Microsoft that ASP.NET Core authorization. So if you have authorized, you just use the built-in Microsoft ASP.NET Core authorization, then automatic it will validate for the authorization. That is why we're able to get in here because we provide the token key already. So it will return you. Okay, that's it. It's returned. But if you don't have a valid token, you cannot get into that. For example, no authentication, so you will be unauthorized to access. Okay, that's in the post one. Now we go to our client application in the ASP.NET in BC. I have created here. Let me just stop it. So this is our ASP.NET in BC. So basically, we added here the login and the index, I know, and the account. So this is the login form. So login view model, we have that property, data DTO, data transfer object, in our shared VM. Uh we just reference the shared VM where that login view model is created. And this is our page. So basically, HTML begin form, it will go to the login method in your account controller, and the form method is post that is post as we have tested in the postman with our posting. And then we enter username, I mean email, and the password here. Okay, that's basically then the login button. When you click the login button, it will go to your controller, home controller. No, account controller. So the gate part is this login, and you are going to input the details then, and post part is this one. So we are just passing the login view model again, and then we are specifying we are using HTTP client, and then we pass the URL of the API. Okay, if you're deploying this in your production, so you just provide the address here, or you can put it in your root config. Then of course, JSON data, JSON convert, we serialize this. So this is we serialize it into using the JSON converter, the Newton.json. So okay, after we serialized it and the content JSON data, we pass the encoded application JSON, and then the response await client that post async. This is where we going to log in. Okay, just like in the postman. So basically, post async your address, authentication login, then the content is the email and the password. After that, the respond body await respond content read async. Okay, then JSON convert this serialize. So it's going to from JSON to C# classes with this user managed respond body. Then if present object is success, that's the part that we have getting the valid token. So we get the valid token. After that, we get the valid token. We pass to the, for example, redirect to contact home. So we need to access in the this this part. So as you can see here, because this already We create the token from the session, from the account controller, and then we inject the authorization header. Client that default request header authorization equals authorization header bearer, because we are going to use DW token, so that is bearer, and the token itself. And after that, we can access the protected area, for example, the weather forecast. Yeah, so if you don't have the valid token, you cannot access this part. Okay, let's try it out. It's raining again. So this is our client is with .NET MVC. So we just go to the account again. Okay. So now we are going to log in. Same as what we use in our Postman. Okay. So now we okay. Now it's okay. So you can see we have the token now. This token been created. Okay. Once we have that token, we can use it to access to the protected endpoint. Okay. For example, we have in this contact we need to access. So we get the token from the session that we assign. So that's the token. Now if we are going to pass the token in the header authorization this part, okay. And then now we are going to access this page. This is the header forecast. So see, because this is protected area, it has an authorized attribute. So you need the token for you to access that. So you're able to access that, right? So that, so you can display here the results later on. If you type for example invalid token, so you cannot access physically. You cannot have the token. All right. So I think that's for now. One thing more is I also have the console application here. So basically, this is the console.net. This one console.net. So same, but this one I already put it in a class library. So just passing the user password, then this DW token security, get API, so it will return a token. And if a valid token is there, then that's the time you can proceed to your console application. But if in case you need to there's a like Mino, then we need to decide if this Mino should have a valid authorization, not just a token. So we need to implement it. So I think that's for now. And if you like, subscribe this video for more updates on. If you have clarification, comment, suggestion, please comment below and we will learn together again. Bye bye for now. Thanks for viewing this video.